My mom sent a voicemail. "You're out of the family business. Expect a call from our lawyer." I didn't argue, just replied, "Understood." Then I quietly sold my 40% share. 48 hours later, there were 72 missed calls from my brother begging me to undo it. My grandfather started our manufacturing company with nothing but a handshake and determination. When he passed, he split it. Dad got 40%, Mom 20%, and me 40%. My brother Colin was still in college, so Grandpa said my share was my foundation, provided I was willing to work for it. I was. I dove in right after high school, learning operations, finances, inventory, everything. Colin got his business degree and eventually slid into a cushy VP role. Charming clients, but never touching the actual work. That fell to me. For 12 years, I was the numbers guy. Mom would say it with this fond, dismissive wave. "Oh, Alex handles the boring stuff. Bless his heart. He doesn't understand the real business." Colin would laugh and add, "Yeah, he's our bean counter. Keeps the lights on." And I did keep the lights on. Every single time they overspent on some flashy office renovation or unnecessary equipment upgrade, my 40% became their safety net. I delayed buying my first car for 3 years, sending that money to cover emergency supplier payments. I put off my house down payment to make payroll during 2 separate slow quarters. My share wasn't an asset, it was a chain, but I tolerated it because I wanted their approval. I wanted them to see me as more than just the guy who fixed their messes. The signs were always there, though. Being excluded from strategy meetings that Colin attended, despite his complete lack of financial understanding, major decisions made without consulting me, only finding out when the accounts didn't balance. Mom's condescending kindness whenever I suggested improvements. Colin literally talking over me at family gatherings, physically turning his back during business discussions. But I kept hoping, kept sacrificing, kept believing that eventually they'd see my value. Then came the voicemail, cold, formal. "You're out. Expect a call from our lawyer." No explanation, no discussion, just out. I didn't respond immediately. I couldn't. I just sat there in my apartment, the one I'd delayed buying for years because of them, feeling like I'd been punched in the chest. 3 weeks later, I found out why. I was scrolling Facebook and saw a post in a local business group, Mom and Colin, beaming, shaking hands with some guy I'd never seen. The caption announced a major new partnership that will propel the business into a new era of growth. They'd signed a massive deal, one that would completely restructure the company I owned 40% of, and I found out on social media. I called Mom. She was dismissive. "Oh, that. Yes, we meant to tell you. It all happened so fast, dear. Fast. This affects my percentage. Why wasn't I consulted? Alex, sweetie, we didn't think you needed to be involved. You're not here every day. It's complicated business stuff. We handled it." Then Colin got on the line. "Yeah, man, you're just the money guy. Let us handle the real decisions. You wouldn't get it anyway. Just the money guy." 12 years of sacrifice reduced to 5 condescending words. That's when the hurt twisted into something colder, clearer. I stopped hoping they'd see me differently and started seeing them for what they really were. So, I went quiet. They probably expected me to argue, to beg for my place back. Instead, I made some calls. Turns out my 40% was the linchpin of their entire deal. The new partner needed majority ownership stability. Mom and Colin had promised it using my share as leverage, planning to buy me out at an insulting lowball price through their lawyer. Without my 40%, the whole thing collapsed. I sold to their biggest competitor instead for triple what Mom's lawyer was offering. The sale went through on a Tuesday. By Thursday morning, my phone was exploding. Colin's first text. "Call me now." His 5th. "What did you do?" His 20th. "The deal fell through." "Do you understand what you've done?" His 40th. Mom's crying. "Dad won't come out of his office." His 65th. "Please, we can fix this. Just call me back." His 72nd at 3 a.m. "Please, Alex. Dad's in the hospital. The stress." His heart. The competitor's acquisition team called me in for a final meeting. They had questions about some transactions I'd supposedly approved. I'd never seen them before. 7-figure payments to shell companies, all with my forged signature. Colin had been embezzling for 3 years using my credentials. The FBI agent sitting in the corner finally spoke up. "Mr. Brennan, we've been monitoring these transactions for 6 months. Your brother's been careful, but not careful enough. We need your full cooperation." I sat frozen in that conference room, staring at printouts of my own signature on documents I'd never touched. The FBI agent, a woman named Valdez, slid a folder across the table. Her expression was neutral, but her eyes were sharp. "We know you didn't sign these. The forensic analysis confirms forgery. But we need you to walk us through your company access, passwords, any way your brother could have gotten your credentials." My throat was dry. "How much?" $2.3 million over 3 years. routed through 4 shell companies, then to offshore accounts. We've traced most of it. The acquisition team's lawyer cleared his throat. This complicates our purchase significantly. We'll need assurances that all liabilities are disclosed. I barely heard him. My mind was stuck on that number. $2.3 million. While I was eating ramen to save money for payroll, Colin was stealing enough to buy 3 houses. Valdez leaned forward. Your brother had administrative access to the financial systems. Did you grant that? No, I mean he had some access for client billing, but not to wire transfers or vendor payments. That required dual authorization, me and my dad. Your father's credentials were also compromised. Same forgery pattern. Your brother had someone good, probably paid them with stolen funds. The room tilted. Dad's credentials, too. Colin had been systematically dismantling the safeguards Grandpa put in place, using both our digital identities like puppets. We'll need you to come to our field office tomorrow morning. Full statement, timeline of when you noticed anything unusual, bank records, emails, everything. I nodded. What happens to the business? That depends on whether your family cooperates. If they obstruct, we'll freeze all assets pending investigation. If they work with us, we might be able to avoid that. The meeting ended at 4 p.m. I sat in my car in the parking garage for an hour, just breathing. My phone buzzed constantly. Colin, Mom, even Dad's assistant calling on his behalf. I turned it off. When I got home, there was someone sitting on my apartment steps. Colin. He looked terrible. Unshaven, wrinkled shirt, eyes red and puffy. He stood when he saw me. Alex, thank God. We need to talk. Get away from my door. Please, just 5 minutes. This is all a huge misunderstanding. I walked past him, key in hand. A misunderstanding. That's what you're going with. He grabbed my arm. The FBI contacted Mom. They're saying I stole money. That's insane. You know me. I yanked my arm free. Yeah, Colin. I do know you. I know you've spent 12 years treating me like I'm stupid. I know you signed my name to documents moving millions of dollars. I know you put Dad in the hospital with your greed. His face crumbled. Dad's heart attack wasn't my fault. The stress of you selling, that's what did it. I sold my share legally. You committed fraud. I borrowed money. That's all. I was going to pay it back after the new partnership went through. We would have made 10 times what I borrowed. You selling ruined everything. The audacity hit me like cold water. You stole $2.3 million, using my name. And Dad's. That's not borrowing. It's our family company. What's the difference? The difference is prison, Colin. The FBI has everything. They showed me the shell companies, the offshore accounts. They have your signature on the setup paperwork. The color drained from his face. You talked to the FBI? They were at my meeting today. Want to know what's funny? I sold to the competitor because I was angry. I didn't know about your theft, but they have forensic accountants who actually look at books, so your crime was going to come out either way. Colin sank back onto the steps. You have to tell them it was a mistake. Tell them I had permission. I'm not lying to federal agents for you. Alex, please. I'm your brother. If I go to prison, Mom will never recover. Dad's already sick. This will kill them. Something in his voice made me pause. Not sympathy exactly, but curiosity. Where's the money, Colin? He looked away. Gone. Gone where? Investments that didn't pan out? Casino debts? I had some bad luck. $2.3 million in bad luck. I thought I could win it back. I was so close. Then you sold and everything collapsed. There it was. Not remorse, not shame, just frustration that his scheme fell apart. I unlocked my door. Don't contact me again. Talk to a lawyer. Alex, wait. I shut the door and threw the deadbolt. He pounded on it 3 times, then went quiet. Through the peephole, I watched him stumble down the stairs, phone already at his ear. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept thinking about Grandpa, the stories he'd tell about building the business, about trust and family legacy. He'd wanted to leave us something solid, something that would bind us together. Instead, it had torn us apart. At 9 a.m., I was at the FBI field office. Valdez met me in the lobby with another agent, an older guy named Morrison. Thanks for coming in. We've got a lot to cover. They led me to a small interview room, camera in the corner, recording light on. Morrison started the recorder, stated the date, and who was present. Mr. Brennan, this interview is voluntary. You're not under arrest or suspicion. We just need your help piecing together the timeline. Understood? Yes. Valdez opened a laptop. Let's start with your role in the company. Walk me through your daily access to financial systems. I spent 3 hours explaining every detail. The accounting software, dual authorization protocols, who had what access levels. They asked about specific transactions, showing me dates and amounts. Most I'd never seen. A few I remembered approving, but the supporting documentation they showed me was different from what I'd actually signed off on. Your brother would replace the legitimate invoices with fraudulent ones after you approved them. The system logged your approval, but the actual payment went to his shell companies. Smart, in a way. When did you figure it out? About 4 months ago, we got a tip from one of his gambling contacts. Your brother got in deep with some people who don't like being stiffed. When he couldn't pay, they reported him to us out of spite. So you've known for months. We wanted to build a complete case. Financial crimes take time. We had to trace every dollar, confirm the forgeries, establish intent. Morrison leaned back. Your timing with the sale actually helped us. Once the acquisition company did their due diligence, it forced everything into the open. We were probably another 2 months from having enough to move forward. What happens now? We're meeting with your parents and brother tomorrow. Formal interviews. We'll present the evidence and give them a chance to cooperate. And if they don't, then we file charges and let a grand jury decide. But between us, your brother's looking at 15 to 20 years if this goes to trial. Wire fraud, identity theft, money laundering. The feds don't mess around with this stuff. I left the field office feeling hollowed out. The competitor's acquisition was on hold pending the investigation. My sale money was in escrow, also frozen. I'd gone from having nothing to potentially having everything, to having nothing again, all in the span of a week. My phone had 3 new voicemails. I listened to the first one. Mom, hysterical. How could you do this to us? We're your family. You've destroyed everything your grandfather built. We'll never forgive you for this. I deleted it. Then I deleted all the rest without listening. That evening, my dad's assistant called from the hospital. Your father wants to see you. How is he? Stable, but he's insisting. He won't rest until you come. I drove to the hospital against my better judgment. Dad was in a private room, hooked up to monitors. He looked old. When did that happen? Last month he'd been vibrant, commanding. Now he looked like a deflated version of himself. Alex. His voice was raspy. I stayed by the door. The nurse said you wanted to see me. Come here. Sit. I moved to the chair beside his bed but didn't sit. He noticed. You're angry. That's one word for it. What your brother did. What Colin did was steal $2.3 million using my identity and yours. He committed multiple felonies, and you all treated me like garbage before I even knew about it. Dad closed his eyes. We were wrong. Your mother and I, we always favored Colin. He was charming, outgoing. You were so quiet, so serious. We thought you didn't need the attention he did. This isn't about attention. It's about respect. About seeing me as an equal partner, not just the guy who fixes your mistakes. You're right. The admission caught me off guard. Dad never admitted fault. Colin came to us 2 years ago, said he had gambling debts, needed help. We thought we'd paid them off. Obviously, we didn't. You knew he had a gambling problem and you still put him in charge of client relations, where he had access to company funds? We thought we could manage it. Thought the responsibility would straighten him out. Instead, he stole more. Dad's monitor beeped faster. The FBI agent said if Colin cooperates, they might reduce charges. Said his lawyer could negotiate. And you want me to help him? He's your brother. He's a thief who used my name to commit crimes. He didn't think about me when he forged my signature 47 times. Alex, please. If he goes to prison, it'll kill your mother. I moved toward the door. Colin killed the business. He broke the trust Grandpa built. He destroyed what we had. And instead of taking responsibility, he's trying to blame me for selling my own shares. Where does that leave us? I looked back at him. This man who'd been larger than life my entire childhood, now small and breakable in a hospital bed. I don't know, Dad. I really don't. I left before he could respond. In the hallway, Mom was sitting in the waiting area. She stood when she saw me. Alex, we need to talk. I have nothing to say to you. Please. This is tearing the family apart. The family was already torn apart. You just didn't notice because I was too busy keeping it together. Her face hardened. That's unfair. We gave you opportunities, equity, a future. You gave me a job, then you tried to take it away when it was convenient. That's not how it happened. The new partnership required restructuring. We were going to buy you out fairly, at half market value. I saw the offer your lawyer drafted. She had the decency to look away. It was a starting point for negotiation. You weren't negotiating. You were informing me via voicemail that I was out. No discussion, no respect, just out. After 12 years of me propping up your bad decisions, we made mistakes. But turning Colin in to the FBI? That's vindictive. I didn't turn him in. They were already investigating. I just refused to lie for him. He's family. So am I. But that never seemed to matter before. I walked past her. She called after me, something about forgiveness and Christian values, but I was already at the elevator. The next week was a blur. The FBI brought charges. Colin was arrested at his condo, made bail, and immediately started a media campaign painting himself as the victim. Local business reporter did a story. promising young executive caught in family business dispute. His lawyer claimed the charges were exaggerated, that it was a civil matter blown out of proportion. I got calls from reporters. Declined all of them. My lawyer, a sharp woman named Patricia Vance, who specialized in corporate litigation, advised me to stay completely silent. Let the facts speak. Colin's trying to win in the court of public opinion because he knows he'll lose in actual court. The competitor put my sale on indefinite hold. Until this resolves, we can't move forward. Too much liability. So I was stuck. No business, no sale money, just frozen in limbo while my family imploded publicly. Then things got worse. 2 weeks after Colin's arrest, I got served with papers. Mom and Dad were suing me. Breach of fiduciary duty, they claimed. By selling to a competitor instead of keeping it in the family, I'd violated my responsibility as a shareholder. Patricia read the filing and laughed. This is garbage. They have no case. But it'll tie you up for months. That's the point. Yep, they're hoping you'll settle. Give them money to make it go away. What do? We file a countersuit. You've got a better case than they do. Colin's theft damaged the value of your shares. They knew about his gambling and gave him access anyway. That's negligence. The legal bills started piling up. I had to pull money from my savings, the fund I'd been building since high school. Every dollar felt like a piece of my future crumbling away. Colin's criminal trial got set for 8 months out. The civil suit between me and my parents would go even longer. Everything I'd worked for was now locked in legal battles. I tried to find other work, put out feelers in the manufacturing sector, but word had spread. The guy who sold out his family business was toxic. Nobody wanted to touch me. 3 months after everything started, I was sitting in my apartment eating microwaved soup when someone knocked. I looked through the peephole. A woman I didn't recognize, maybe late 50s, professional clothes. I opened the door with the chain on. Yes? Alex Brennan? I'm Judith Kellerman. I worked with your grandfather. Something in her tone made me undo the chain. Come in. She sat on my couch, looked around the sparse apartment. Your grandfather talked about you constantly. Said you had his work ethic, his integrity. Why are you here? Because I've been watching what's happening to your family, and I think you should know some things your grandfather never told anyone. She pulled out a folder. Inside were old financial documents, letters, legal papers. Your grandfather knew your father was weak, knew your mother was manipulative. He saw Colin's character problems when Colin was still a teenager. Then why leave them shares? Because he hoped family would be enough. That responsibility would change them. But he also knew it might not work. So he put protections in your share structure. She showed me a document I'd never seen, an addendum to Grandpa's will, filed separately and never mentioned. If the business failed due to mismanagement or fraud by other shareholders, your shares had a special liquidation clause. You'd get paid out at full market value before any other creditors. He protected you. I read the document 3 times. Does my family know about this? Your father might have forgotten. Your mother and Colin definitely don't know. The lawyer who filed it retired and moved to Arizona. It's been sitting in county records for 15 years. Why tell me now? Because your grandfather asked me to watch over you. Made me promise that if things went wrong, I'd make sure you knew you had options. This document means even if the company goes bankrupt in the criminal case, you get paid first. The competitor who wanted to buy you out? Show them this. Their legal liability disappears. After she left, I sat holding that document. Grandpa had known, had seen what might happen, and tried to protect me from beyond the grave. I called Patricia. I've got something you need to see. She came over within the hour. Read the document twice. This changes everything. This is a secured position. You're not just a shareholder. You're a priority creditor if the company folds. Can we use it? Use it. Alex, this ends your parents' lawsuit immediately. They claimed you breached fiduciary duty, but you had legal standing to protect your priority interest. And the competitor will absolutely restart the purchase now. What about Colin's criminal case? That proceeds regardless. But this means you walk away clean no matter what happens. The next morning, Patricia filed the document with the court. By afternoon, my parents' lawyer called requesting an emergency meeting. We met in Patricia's office. Mom and Dad's attorney, a pudgy guy named Renfro, looked defeated before he even started. My clients weren't aware of the liquidation clause. Clearly, they're willing to drop the suit if your client agrees not to pursue his countersuit. Patricia looked at me. I thought about it. Thought about 12 years of being dismissed, disrespected, treated like I was less than. No, Renfro blinked. I'm sorry? Tell my parents they can drop their suit, but my countersuit proceeds. They put Colin in a position to steal after knowing he had problems. That damaged my equity value. I want compensation. Mr. Brennan, that could bankrupt your parents personally. They should have thought about that before suing me for protecting my interests. We left the meeting. Patricia was grinning. I've been practicing 23 years. That never gets old. What happens now? Now we wait for them to panic. It took 4 days. Dad called me directly, which violated the no-contact order his lawyer had requested. Alex, please. We can't afford to fight you and pay Colin's defense attorney. We'll lose everything. You're calling me against legal advice. I don't care. You're my son. Doesn't that mean anything? It meant something to me for 30 years. I'm not sure it ever meant anything to you. That's not true. Then why, Dad? Why did you always choose Colin? Even when you knew he was messing up, you protected him and ignored me. Silence. Long enough that I almost hung up. He reminded us of ourselves at that age. Confident, social. You reminded us of my father. Serious, hard-working. We thought you didn't need us the way Colin did. So you neglected me because I was responsible? That's the excuse? It's not an excuse. It's the truth. And it was wrong. We failed you, Alex. We failed your grandfather's legacy. And now, we're paying for it. Something in his voice cracked. Actual emotion, not manipulation. What do you want from me? Mercy, understanding, a chance to rebuild. Colin stole from us using my identity. He's going to prison. That's not something I did to him. I know. But the countersuit, the money you're asking for, it'll take our house. Your mother's retirement, everything. I closed my eyes, saw myself at 19, eager to prove myself. Saw every time I delayed my own life to bail them out. Saw Colin's smirk, Mom's dismissive wave, Dad's blind favoritism. I'll drop the countersuit on 3 conditions. 1, you settle Colin's restitution debt to the company before it goes bankrupt. 2, you sell the house and split the proceeds with me to cover my legal fees. 3, you both admit in writing exactly what happened and why. No spin, no excuses. Done. All of it. I'm not finished. 4, you never contact me again unless I reach out first. No holidays, no guilt trips, no emergencies. I'm done being the backup plan. The pause was longer this time. If that's what you need, it is. We worked out the details through lawyers. Mom and Dad sold their house, a beautiful 4-bedroom they'd bought with Grandpa's life insurance money. They moved into a small rental. The proceeds covered my legal fees plus $30,000 extra. They wrote the statement. 3 pages detailing every mistake, every moment they'd chosen Colin over me, every time they'd taken my stability for granted. Patricia had it notarized and filed with the court. Colin's trial happened 6 months later. The evidence was overwhelming. Bank records, forged documents, testimony from the forensic accountants. His lawyer tried to argue diminished capacity due to gambling addiction. The jury didn't buy it. Guilty on 11 counts. Sentencing 3 weeks later. 12 years federal prison. Restitution of $2.3 million, 3 years supervised release. Mom collapsed in the courtroom. Dad just sat there, staring straight ahead. I wasn't there. Watched the news coverage from my new apartment across town. The competitor completed my share purchase 2 months later. With the liquidation clause, I got full value. $3.7 million after taxes and fees. I paid off my debts, bought a small house, put the rest in investments. Got a job at a mid-size manufacturing company doing operational analysis. Not ownership, just good work for fair pay. It's been 2 years since that voicemail. Colin's in a medium security facility in Pennsylvania. Mom sends him money every month, which he apparently uses to pay off gambling debts to other inmates. Dad had a second, smaller heart attack last year. Survived, but he's fragile now. My aunt, Dad's sister, reached out 6 months ago. Said Mom and Dad ask about me sometimes. Wonder how I'm doing, whether I'm happy. I didn't respond. Not out of cruelty, but because I genuinely don't know what to say. I'm not happy exactly, but I'm stable. Building something that's actually mine. Last week, I got a letter. Prison return address, Colin's name. I held it for 3 days before opening it. Alex, I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I know what I did was unforgivable. But I'm writing this because my therapist says I need to take accountability without expecting anything in return. You were the best brother I could have asked for. You worked harder than anyone I've ever known. And I repaid that by stealing from you, lying about you, and blaming you when it all fell apart. The truth is, I was jealous. You had Grandpa's respect in a way I never could earn. You were good at the actual work. I was just good at pretending. And instead of dealing with that, I tore you down and took what you'd built. I'm sorry. I know those words don't fix anything. I know they don't give you back the years I stole or the family I destroyed, but they're true. I'm sorry, and I hope someday you find peace. You deserve that more than anyone. Colin. I read it twice, then I put it in a drawer. Maybe someday I'll respond. Maybe I won't. Right now, I'm okay with not knowing. Because here's what I've learned. Family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up, who sees your value, who doesn't take you for granted. And sometimes the family you're born into isn't the one you need. Sometimes you have to walk away to find out who you actually are when you're not busy holding everyone else up. I'm 32 years old. I own a house. I have a job I don't hate. I sleep through the night. That's more than I had when I was trying to earn their approval. So, no, I don't regret selling my shares. I don't regret walking away. I just regret that it took me 12 years to realize I deserved better. Update 1. 6 months later. The LinkedIn message came through on a Tuesday morning. Alex Brennan, this is Ramona Sutter. I own Midwest Industrial Solutions. I'd like to discuss a business opportunity. I Googled her during my lunch break. MIS was a mid-sized operation, about $50 million annual revenue, specializing in precision parts manufacturing. Ramona had built it from scratch over 20 years. Impressive reputation for quality and fair dealing. We met for coffee Thursday afternoon. She was direct, late 50s, with the kind of tired eyes that come from actually running a business instead of just owning one. I've been following your situation. Read the court documents. Talk to some people who worked with your grandfather. I'm not looking to get back into family business drama. That's exactly why I'm here. I'm 58. My kids have no interest in manufacturing, and I'm tired. I want to retire. But I don't want to sell to some corporate vulture who'll gut the place for parts. She slid a folder across the table. I want someone who understands operations, who won't sacrifice quality for quarterly profits. Your grandfather had that. From what I can tell, so do you. Inside the folder was a business proposal. She'd sell me 60% ownership over 3 years, structured payments I could actually afford with my settlement money. I'd come on as COO immediately, learn the operation, take over as CEO when she fully retired. Why me? Because you walked away from millions when your family tried to screw you. That tells me you have principles. And because everyone I've talked to says you actually know how to run a manufacturing operation, not just pretend to. I went home and spent 2 weeks doing due diligence. Reviewed their financials, talked to their suppliers, visited the facility 3 times. Everything checked out. The company was solid, well-run, with room to grow. Patricia reviewed the contract. This is legitimate. Fair terms. Clear exit clauses if it doesn't work out. She's giving you a real shot. I signed on a Monday. Started the following week. The work was hard but familiar. Purchase orders, supply chain management, quality control. Ramona had good systems in place. I spent the first month just learning how she did things, not trying to change anything. You're not what I expected, she said one afternoon. We were walking the production floor, checking on a rush order. What did you expect? Someone angrier, more defensive. You seem calm. I spent 12 years angry and defensive. Didn't get me anywhere. She nodded. Your grandfather would be proud of you. Something about the way she said it got me. I had to look away. 3 months into the job, we landed a contract with an automotive supplier I'd been courting. $2 million over 2 years. Ramona took me to dinner to celebrate. You've got good instincts. You know when to push and when to listen. My grandpa used to say the best deals are the ones where everyone walks away feeling good. Smart man. She paused. I'm moving up my retirement timeline. End of this year instead of next. You ready to take over? That's fast. I'm tired, Alex. And you're ready. The staff likes you, the clients trust you, the numbers are solid. Why wait? I thought about it. About being 32 and running a $50 million company. About the responsibility, the risk. Okay, let's do it. We announced it in August. Staff meeting, full transparency. Some people were nervous, but most seemed relieved. Ramona had been checked out for a while. They could tell. The transition was smoother than expected. I kept most of her systems, made small improvements to scheduling and inventory tracking. Revenue stayed steady. Then in October, I got an email from someone named Lydia Brennan. Subject line, family matter. Dear Alex, you don't know me. I'm your father's cousin, your grandfather's niece. I've been living in Oregon for 30 years, but I'm back in town dealing with my mother's estate. I heard about what happened with your family. I'd like to talk if you're willing. No pressure, Lydia. I almost deleted it, but something made me respond. We met for lunch the next week. Lydia was in her 60s, sharp and funny, with Grandpa's eyes. We talked for 2 hours. She told stories about growing up with Dad, about Grandpa's early days building the business. Your grandfather loved your dad, but he knew Robert was soft, knew he'd cave to your mother's ambitions. Did he ever say anything about me? Are you kidding? He bragged about you constantly, called you every week to hear about what you were learning. He knew you'd inherited his work ethic. Then why did he leave Dad so much equity? Because he hoped responsibility would change him, and because he loved him, flaws and all. But he protected you with that liquidation clause. Made me witness the filing. You knew about it? I'm the one who suggested it. Told him if things went bad, you'd need an escape route. He agreed. We stayed in touch after that. Emails every few weeks, lunch once a month. She became the family connection I didn't know I needed. Someone who knew where I came from but didn't carry all the baggage. In November, I hired 3 new people. Business was growing faster than expected. One of them was a young guy, maybe 23, fresh out of technical school. Reminded me of myself at that age. Eager, a little too serious, desperate to prove himself. His name was Julian. I took him under my wing, taught him the same way Grandpa had taught me. Showed him how to read production schedules, how to talk to suppliers, how to spot quality issues before they became problems. "Why are you spending so much time with me?" he asked one day. "You're the CEO. Don't you have more important things to do?" This is the most important thing. Making sure the next generation knows how to actually run a business, not just manage it. Around Thanksgiving, my aunt mentioned that Mom and Dad were struggling. Dad's health was declining, medical bills piling up. Mom was working part-time at a grocery store to make ends meet. "I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty," Lydia said. "You don't owe them anything. But I thought you should know." I sat with that information for a week. Felt nothing. No satisfaction at their struggles, but no sympathy either. Just neutral. Does that make me a bad person? I asked Patricia over drinks one evening. We'd stayed friends after the legal stuff settled. No, it makes you human. You did your time trying to fix them. Now you're living your life. Part of me wonders if I should help. Why? I don't know. Because they're family? Family is what you make it. You've got Lydia now. You've got this business. You've got people who respect you. That's family. She was right. But the question stuck with me. In December, Ramona officially retired, threw herself a party, gave a speech about trusting the next generation, handed me the keys, literally. An old brass key that Grandpa had given her when she first toured our family's facility 25 years ago. He told me this key opened doors, but only if you were willing to walk through them. You walked through, Alex. Make him proud. The business did well through the holidays. We closed the year up 8% in revenue, 12% in profit. I gave everyone bonuses, including Julian. He cried when I handed him the check. "This is more than my rent for 3 months. You earned it. You show up early, stay late, and you give a damn about quality. That matters." On Christmas Eve, I was at my house, small place but mine, when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. "Hello? Alex, it's your father." Silence. I could hang up. Should hang up. "You're violating the no-contact agreement." "I know. I'm sorry. But I'm in the hospital. 3rd heart attack. They're saying this is it." My stomach dropped. "What do you want from me?" "Nothing. I just wanted you to know, and to tell you one more time that I'm sorry. For all of it." "Okay. That's it? Just okay? What else is there to say, Dad? I'm glad you're sorry. I hope that brings you peace. Will you come see me?" I looked around my living room. At the life I'd built. The peace I'd found. "No. Alex. I'm not trying to be cruel, but I did my grieving for you already. For the dad I wished I had, the family I wanted. I made peace with the fact that you couldn't be those things. And I moved on. So that's it? I'm dying and you won't even say goodbye? You said goodbye to me years ago. You just didn't realize it." I hung up, turned off my phone, sat in the dark. He died 3 days later. Mom called from Lydia's phone knowing I'd answer that. "Your father passed this morning. Funeral is Saturday. I'm sorry for your loss. Will you be there?" "No. He was your father. He was. And now he's not. I hope you find peace, Mom. I really do." I hung up again. This time I didn't feel bad about it. Lydia called that evening. "You okay?" "Yeah. Surprisingly, yeah. Robert loved you in his way. It just wasn't the way you needed." "I know. And I'm okay with that now. The funeral happened without me." Lydia went, reported back that it was small. Colin couldn't get furlough from prison. Mom was stoic. Some cousins showed up. She asked about you at the reception. Said she understands why you didn't come but hopes you'll reconsider shutting her out completely. "Maybe someday. Not today." Business picked up in January. We landed 2 new contracts, hired 4 more people. I promoted Julian to shift supervisor. He was good with the team, patient but firm. "You're a natural leader," I told him. "Keep developing that. I'm trying to learn from you. Then learn this. Take care of people and they'll take care of the business. That's what my grandpa taught me." By February, we were outgrowing our facility. I started looking at larger spaces, maybe acquiring a smaller competitor to expand capabilities. That's when I got a letter from Mom, handwritten, forwarded through Lydia. "Dear Alex, I know you don't want to hear from me. I'm respecting your boundaries by not calling, but I need you to know that your father's last words were about you. He said, I should have listened to Alex. He was right about everything. He died with regret, Alex. So much regret. I have it too. Every day I wake up and realize how badly we failed you. How we pushed away the son who actually loved us for the one who used us. Colin writes sometimes from prison. He's bitter, angry, blames everyone but himself. You were the good one. We just couldn't see it until it was too late. I'm not asking for forgiveness or reconciliation. I know I don't deserve that. I just wanted you to know the truth. You were always enough. We were the ones who failed. Love, Mom. I read it 3 times. Then I put it in the same drawer as Colin's letter. Maybe someday I'd respond to both. Maybe not. For now, I had a business to run. People who depended on me. A life that felt authentic. That was enough. Update 2. 1 year later. The acquisition offer came in March. A regional manufacturing group wanted to buy MIS for $85 million. My 60% stake would net me about $51 million. I turned it down. Not because of the money, but because of what we'd built. The team was solid, the culture was healthy, and I wasn't ready to hand that over to people who'd probably gut it for profit margins. Julian, now 25 and my operations manager, asked me about it over coffee one morning. Everyone's talking about the offer. They're worried you'll sell. I'm not selling. Why not? That's life-changing money? I already have life-changing money. This is about building something that lasts. He nodded slowly. Like your grandfather did. Exactly like that. We'd grown to 73 employees by then, added a second shift, expanded our product line to include some higher-margin specialty parts. Revenue hit $62 million that year. I instituted profit sharing. Every employee got a percentage based on tenure and performance. Some of the veteran workers got checks for $8,000 or $9,000. You're giving away too much, our CFO warned. Good guy named Tom, late 40s, former Big Four accountant who got tired of corporate life. I'm investing in loyalty. These people make this place work. They should share in the success. The strategy paid off. Turnover dropped to almost nothing. Productivity increased. Word spread that MIS was a good place to work. We started getting applications from people at bigger companies, willing to take pay cuts for better culture. That spring, Lydia called with news. Your mother's moving to Arizona. She's got a sister there who'll help her out. How is she? Struggling. The grief, the guilt. She's seeing a therapist. That's good. She asks about you sometimes. Wonders if you're happy. Am I? Are you? I thought about it. About the business. The team. The stability. Yeah, I think I am. Then that's what I'll tell her. In June, we had a safety incident. Nothing major, but a worker nearly got injured because of a faulty equipment guard. I shut down the entire line, brought in an industrial safety consultant, spent $40,000 upgrading equipment and retraining staff. Tom questioned the expense. We could have just fixed that one machine. And next time someone gets hurt, maybe killed because we took shortcuts? No, we do this right. The staff noticed, started suggesting other safety improvements. We implemented most of them. Julian pulled me aside one day. My dad worked in a factory for 30 years. Got injured twice because management didn't care. He's amazed by what you're doing here. Tell your dad he's welcome to visit anytime. He died last year, but he would have liked you. That summer, I got a call from Colin's prison. He was up for parole review, needed character references. We understand you're estranged from the inmate, but any statement you could provide would be helpful in his review. What kind of statement? Anything that speaks to his character, his remorse, his likelihood of rehabilitation. I thought about it for a week. Then I wrote a letter. Colin Brennan is my brother. He committed serious crimes against me and my family. He stole money using my identity, destroyed a business my grandfather built, and showed no remorse until he faced consequences. However, he is capable of charm and manipulation. He's intelligent when he chooses to be. Whether he's actually changed, I cannot say. I haven't spoken to him in over 3 years. If you release him, I hope he's genuinely rehabilitated. But I have no interest in being part of his life to find out. Alex Brennan. He got denied parole. Would serve at least another 4 years. Mom sent another letter through Lydia. Shorter this time. Thank you for the letter about Colin. It was honest. That's more than he deserved from you. I'm moving to Phoenix next month, starting over at 63. It's scary, but I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. I'm proud of what you've built. Your grandfather would be too. Always, Mom. I kept that one on my desk for a few days before filing it away. In August, Julian came to me with an idea. What if we started an apprenticeship program? Partner with the technical school, bring in students, train them properly? That's a big commitment. I know, but I've been thinking about how you trained me, how different my life is because someone took a chance. We could do that for others. We launched the program in September. 4 apprentices, paid positions, rotating through different departments. One of them was a single mom named Kira, 28, trying to support 2 kids after a divorce. She was sharp, hardworking, asked great questions. This job saved my life, she told me 3 months in. I was working fast food, barely surviving. Now I have benefits, a future. You earned this. Keep working hard. By October, we'd outgrown our facility again. I found a building twice the size, bought it outright with company reserves. No debt, just careful planning. We spent November moving and setting up. Lost some productivity but gained long-term capacity. That Thanksgiving, Lydia invited me to her place. Small gathering, just her husband, their daughter's family. Your family, she said when I hesitated. Real family. The kind that shows up. It was nice, normal, no drama, no expectations. Just good food and decent conversation. During dessert, Lydia's husband asked about the business. It's going well, growing sustainably. Your grandfather would be proud. You're doing it the right way. That night, driving home, I realized I hadn't thought about Colin or my parents in weeks. The anger was gone. The hurt was gone. Just neutral acceptance of what was. In December, Tom came to me with year-end projections. We're going to hit $68 million in revenue. Net profit around $8.2 million. Profit sharing's going to be good this year. You could take a bigger salary. You're still paying yourself less than industry standard for CEOs. I'm paying myself enough. The rest goes to the team and reinvestment. We had the holiday party at a nice restaurant. Open bar, good food, bonuses handed out in person. Kira cried when she got her envelope. $6,000. Bonus plus profit sharing of $3,000. $200. This is more money than I've ever had at once. My kids are going to have a real Christmas. You earned every penny. Julian gave a toast. 3 years ago, I was a kid who barely knew which end of a wrench to hold. Alex took a chance on me, taught me, trusted me. Now I'm standing here as operations manager, making more money than I ever thought possible. That's the kind of place this is. That's the kind of leader Alex is. To Ms. and to doing business the right way. Everyone raised their glasses. I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Belonging. On New Year's Eve, I was at home, reading, when my phone rang. Unknown number again. Hello? Alex? It's Colin. My blood went cold. How did you get this number? I'm out. Got early release for good behavior. Mom gave me your number. I specifically told her not to. She thought I should try. Look, I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. Really sorry. I've been in therapy, working the steps, facing what I did. Good for you. Can we meet? Just coffee. I want to make amends. No. Alex, please. I need this for my recovery. Your recovery isn't my responsibility. You want to make amends? Stay away from me. Build your own life. Don't drag me back into your mess. I'm different now. Maybe you are, but I'm different too. And the person I am now doesn't need you in his life. That's cold. That's healthy. Goodbye, Colin. I blocked the number, called Lydia. Colin's out. He got my number from Mom. Want me to talk to her? No. Just wanted you to know in case he shows up somewhere. I'll keep an eye out. I changed my number the next day. Only gave it to people I actually wanted to hear from. January started strong. New contracts, new hires, new equipment. We were positioned for another growth year. One morning, Julian knocked on my office door. Got a minute? Always. He sat down, looking nervous. I've been thinking. This apprentice program we started. What if we expanded it? Made it a real pipeline? Partner with high schools, community groups, give kids who wouldn't normally get these chances a real shot. That's expensive. I know, but you always say invest in people. This is investing early. I leaned back. You really thought this through? I've got a whole proposal. Costs, benefits, partnerships. I've been working on it for 2 months. Show me. His plan was solid, detailed, realistic, scalable. We'd need to commit about $200,000 a year, but the return in trained, loyal workers would be worth it. Let's do it. You lead the program. I'll fund it. His face lit up. Seriously? You've earned this. You've grown from that scared kid who didn't know what he was doing to someone who thinks strategically about our future. That's exactly what I need for my leadership team. We launched the expanded program in March. Called it the Brennan Apprentice Initiative, named after my grandfather. Lydia came to the announcement. He would have loved this. Investing in young people, giving them real skills. It's what he did for me. Indirectly, anyway. Not indirectly, everything you're doing is because of what he taught you. By April, we had 12 apprentices. Some were straight out of high school. Others were career changers like Kira had been. All of them hungry to learn. I spent time with each one, teaching them the same lessons Grandpa taught me. Quality matters. People matter. Do it right even when no one's watching. One kid, 19 years old, named Desmond, reminded me of myself at that age. Quiet, serious, desperately trying to prove he belonged. You're doing good work, I told him one afternoon. Stop trying so hard to prove yourself and just do the work. But what if I mess up? Then you learn. That's how it works. I messed up plenty when I was learning. My grandpa never gave up on me. Your grandpa sounds like he was a good guy. He was. And he taught me that success isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up every day and caring about what you're doing. That summer, the business hit a milestone. $75 million in revenue, over 90 employees. We'd tripled in size since I took over. A business magazine wanted to do a profile. I declined at first, but Tom convinced me. It's good PR, shows we're stable, growing, helps with recruiting. The article ran in August. From family drama to business success, how Alex Brennan built something better. They'd done their research, mentioned the lawsuit, Colin's crimes, my grandfather's legacy, but focused mostly on what I'd built since. The quote they used for the headline, "I learned more from failure than I ever did from success. My family taught me what not to do. Now I'm building what should have been." Lydia called after she read it. "Your mother saw the article, and," she cried, "said she was proud of you, said she finally understands what she lost. That doesn't change anything. I know, but I thought you should know." In September, Colin showed up at the facility. Security called me. "There's a guy at the gate. Says he's your brother. We told him to leave, but he's insisting. Call the police. He's trespassing." "You sure?" "Positive." The cops came, removed him. He called Lydia later, complaining that I was being unreasonable. "He just wants to talk," Lydia told me. "Says he's changed." Maybe he has, but I meant what I said. I don't need him in my life. He's struggling, can't find work with his record. Mom's helping him financially, but she doesn't have much. That's not my problem. He made choices. He's living with consequences. You're really okay with that? I'm really okay with that. By October, we'd hired 15 more people. The expansion was exceeding projections. We were becoming one of the major employers in the region. Local politicians started courting me for endorsements. I declined. "I don't do politics. I just run a business." One of them pushed. "You're a success story. Young entrepreneur, overcame adversity. That plays well. I'm not interested in playing. Thanks anyway." Julian asked me about it later. "Why not? Could be good for business." "Because the moment I become a political figure, half my customers will hate me. I'm not risking what we've built for someone's campaign." In November, Mom called. Her first direct contact in almost 4 years. "Alex, I know I'm not supposed to call, but I'm dying. Cancer. Stage 4. They're saying 6 months." I didn't hang up. Just sat there, phone to my ear, feeling nothing. "I'm sorry to hear that. I wanted to see you before I go. Make things right. There's nothing to make right. It is what it is. Please, I'm your mother. You stopped being my mother when you chose Colin over me for the 1,000th time. When you sued me for protecting my interests. When you gave Colin my number after I specifically said not to. I was wrong. About all of it. I see that now. Good. I'm glad you found clarity. But that doesn't obligate me to anything. You're really going to let me die without saying goodbye? You've been dead to me for years. This just makes it official." I hung up, felt bad for about 10 minutes, then moved on. Lydia called that evening. "You heard?" "Yeah. You okay?" "Surprisingly, yes. Is that wrong?" "No. You did your grieving already. This is just paperwork. Mom died in February. I didn't go to the funeral. Sent flowers with a card. I hope you found peace." Colin called Lydia, furious. What kind of son doesn't go to his mother's funeral? The kind whose mother spent 30 years making him feel worthless. Leave Alex alone. He kept trying to reach out through various channels. I blocked everything. In March, we celebrated 5 years since I took over. Revenue hit $82 million. Net profit $10.3 million. I promoted Julian to VP of Operations. Gave him equity, 5% of the company. "This is yours. You've earned it. Welcome to ownership." He stared at the paperwork. "I don't know what to say. Say you'll keep building with me. That's all I need." We promoted 3 of our apprentices to full-time positions. Kira became a shift supervisor. Desmond was fast-tracking into quality control. The business was humming. Culture was strong. People actually wanted to work there. That spring, I got a call from a lawyer. Mom's estate was being settled. She'd left everything to Colin, except for one thing. A letter, to be delivered to me after her death. It arrived the next week. I let it sit on my desk for 3 days before opening it. "Alex, by the time you read this, I'll be gone. I won't blame you if you throw this away without reading it. I deserve that, but I'm hoping you'll give me these final words. You were the best thing I ever did. The strongest, most principled, most capable. And I spent your whole life making you feel like you weren't enough. I can't undo that. I can't give you back the years I stole or the confidence I damaged. All I can do is tell you the truth. You were always enough. More than enough. You were exactly what your grandfather hoped you'd be. And I was too blind and too selfish to see it. I destroyed our family because I couldn't accept that Colin needed consequences, not coddling. I chose comfort over truth, enabling over accountability, and I lost the son who actually loved me for the one who used me. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know that every success you've had, every good thing you've built, you did that despite me, not because of me. You succeeded because you have integrity I never had. Work ethic I never taught you. Compassion I never showed you. You're a better person than I ever was. And I'm sorry I didn't tell you that when it mattered. Be happy, Alex. You've earned it. Mom. I read it twice. Then I filed it with the others. Julian found me in my office an hour later. You okay? You look, I don't know, sad? My mom died a few months ago. I just got her final letter. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was complicated. Family usually is. Yeah, I looked at him. You know what she was right about? I did this despite them, not because of them. And that's okay. Sometimes the greatest gift someone can give you is showing you exactly who you don't want to be. Your grandfather would be proud. I think he would be. That evening, I drove to the cemetery where Grandpa was buried. Hadn't been there in years. I sat by his headstone as the sun set. I did it, Grandpa. Built something real. Something that lasts. Something you'd be proud of. The wind picked up. I took it as answer enough. At 35 years old, I run a business doing $82 million a year. I employ over 100 people. I'm training the next generation. I'm building something that matters. And I did it by walking away from people who couldn't see my value. That's not a tragedy. That's a victory. Update 3. 3 years later. The documentary crew showed up in May. They'd been following me for 6 months, filming interviews, watching operations, talking to employees. The producer, a sharp woman named Valerie Chen, wanted to tell the story of second-generation manufacturing. Companies that survive founder transitions. We think MIS is a perfect example. I'd been hesitant, but Julian convinced me. It's good for the industry. Shows that manufacturing isn't dying, it's evolving. They filmed everything. Staff meetings, production floor, supplier negotiations, even interviewed some of my employees. Kira, now a production manager, told them, "Alex saved my life, gave me a career when I was drowning. This place is special because he makes it special." Desmond, 25 now and heading our quality department. "I came here as a scared kid. Alex taught me that excellence isn't about perfection, it's about caring. That changed everything for me." The crew wanted to talk about my family. I agreed to one interview, on condition they kept it factual. Valerie asked the obvious question, "Do you have regrets about walking away?" "No. I regret that it took me so long. Your brother's been out of prison for 3 years. Any contact?" "None. He made choices. I made mine. We're both living with the results. Some people would say you're cold. That family should forgive. Some people didn't spend 12 years being used as an ATM and emotional punching bag. Forgiveness isn't mandatory. Peace is more important." The documentary aired in September. Built to Last, the new face of American manufacturing. It was fair, balanced, showed the business, the culture, the growth. Mentioned my family drama but didn't sensationalize it. The response was overwhelming. We got emails from all over the country, other businesses asking about our apprentice program, young people asking about jobs, even some business schools wanting to use us as a case study. Revenue hit $95 million that year. We crossed 120 employees. Julian and I talked about the future one morning over coffee. We're approaching $100 million. That's a psychological threshold. Changes how people see us. And how we see ourselves, I added. We're not a small company anymore. What's the goal? How big do you want to get? I thought about it. Big enough to matter, small enough to care. There's a balance point where you can have real impact without losing soul. And where's that point? I don't know yet, but we'll know it when we see it. That fall, Colin showed up at Lydia's house. She called immediately. "He's here, asking about you, saying he needs help." "What kind of help?" "Money. He can't find steady work. He's behind on rent. He's desperate. And he thinks I'll bail him out? He thinks blood matters. Blood is just biology. He's not my responsibility." Colin tried other angles. Reached out to some of my employees on LinkedIn. Security flagged it. "Your brother's contacting our staff, asking them to convince you to talk to him." I sent one email, CCing our legal team. "Colin, stop contacting me and my employees. Any further contact will be considered harassment and dealt with accordingly. You made your choices. Live with them, Alex." He stopped after that. In November, we had our annual holiday party. Rented out a whole restaurant this time. 120 employees plus families. Nearly 300 people total. I gave a short speech. 5 years ago, Ramona Sutter took a chance on me, saw something worth investing in. Today, We're closing in on $100 million in revenue. We employ 120 people. We've trained 47 apprentices, 38 of whom are still with us. We've become one of the largest employers in the region. But here's what I'm most proud of. Our turnover rate is 4%. Industry average is 28%. People stay here because we treat them well, pay them fairly, give them room to grow. That's what my grandfather believed. That's what I believe. This business exists to create value for everyone involved. Not just owners, everyone. So, thank you for your work, your loyalty, your commitment. This success is yours as much as mine. The applause was genuine. People smiled. Several came up afterward to shake my hand. Julian pulled me aside. You know what's crazy? You're only 38. Most CEOs don't hit their stride until their 50s. You've got decades to keep building. Assuming I want to. Don't you? Some days, other days I think about what comes next. Maybe teaching, passing on what I've learned. You already do that with the apprentices. Maybe something bigger, a foundation, scholarship program, something that outlasts me. You think about legacy a lot. My grandfather's legacy got destroyed by people who didn't deserve it. I want to build something that survives even if my kids turn out like Colin. You don't have kids? Not yet, but someday maybe. December was our best month ever. $9.2 million in revenue. New contracts locked in for the next year. We'd hit $98 million total. Tom projected we'd cross $100 million by March. When we do, I want to do something special, I told the leadership team. Bonus structure that rewards everyone, not just management. That'll be expensive, Tom warned. It'll be worth it. We spent January planning, brought in consultants to help structure the bonus program fairly. Every employee would get something, scaled by tenure and contribution. In February, something unexpected happened. A private equity firm approached with an acquisition offer, $180 million for the whole company. I turned it down without countering. The PE partner called me personally. You didn't even negotiate. Most owners at least want to hear the pitch. I'm not interested in selling to people who'll strip out costs and destroy culture. That's not our model. It's every PE firm's model. You buy, optimize, flip. I'm not interested. You're turning down generational wealth. I already have generational wealth. What I have here is something worth more. Purpose. He hung up frustrated. I didn't give it another thought. We crossed $100 million in revenue on March 15th, a Tuesday. I called an all-staff meeting, announced it, and unveiled the bonus program. Everyone got something. Newest apprentices got $1,000. Veterans got up to $15,000. Total payout, $1.4 million. Tom nearly had a heart attack. That's our quarterly profit. That's our investment in loyalty. The response was overwhelming. People cried. Several told me it was life-changing money. One guy, been with us 8 years, pulled me aside. My kid needs braces. Insurance doesn't cover it. This bonus, it's exactly enough. You just saved me from taking out a loan. That's what we do here. Take care of each other. That spring, a business school professor reached out. We're writing a case study about sustainable growth in manufacturing. Can we interview you? I agreed. Spent 2 hours talking about our model, our culture, our approach. What's interesting, the professor said, is that you're doing everything conventional wisdom says not to do. High wages, expensive benefits, profit sharing. Yet you're growing faster than competitors who cut costs. Because we're investing in the thing that matters most. People. They're not line items on a balance sheet. They're the whole business. Where'd you learn that? From my grandfather. And from watching my family destroy a business by forgetting it. The case study, published in August, got picked up by several business publications. We started getting calls from other companies. How do you do it? How do you grow sustainably while paying premium wages? I did a few speaking engagements, conferences, trade shows, always the same message. Treat people well, focus on quality, think long-term. Some people got it, others thought I was naive. You'll hit a ceiling, one CEO told me after a panel. Eventually, scale requires sacrifice. You can't stay small company culture at enterprise size. Watch me. By October, we'd hired 15 more people. Revenue was tracking toward $108 million for the year. Julian and I started talking about a second facility. We're maxed out here. If we want to keep growing, we need more space. Let's be careful. Growth for growth's sake is how companies lose their soul. Agreed. But strategic expansion, opening in an underserved market, that could work. We spent 3 months researching. Found a mid-sized city 4 hours away. Manufacturing base that had been declining. Opportunity to bring jobs, train workers, make a real impact. We broke ground on the new facility in January. 45,000 square feet, room for 40 to 50 employees initially. Hired a plant manager from the local area, someone who knew the community. Told him the same thing I told everyone. People first, quality always, sustainable growth. The new facility opened in May. Started with 25 employees, all local hires. Implemented the same apprentice program, same benefits, same culture. It worked. Within 6 months, they were hitting production targets and employee satisfaction scores matched our main facility. That summer, I turned 40. Julian threw me a surprise party at work. "Speech!" someone yelled. I grabbed a microphone. 40 years old. Never thought I'd get here, honestly. 10 years ago, I was broke, angry, watching my family destroy itself. Today, I run 2 facilities, employ over 150 people, and actually sleep at night. What changed? I stopped trying to fix people who didn't want to be fixed. I stopped seeking approval from people who'd never give it. And I started building something real. This company is my family now. You're my family, and that's worth more than any inheritance or approval ever could be. So thank you for making this place what it is. For proving that doing business the right way isn't just possible, it's profitable. The applause lasted a full minute. Afterward, Lydia, now 72, found me. Your grandfather would have loved this. All of it. I hope so. I think about him a lot. He's with you. In every decision you make, every person you help. That's a legacy that matters. In August, Colin resurfaced. Sent a certified letter to my office. "Alex, I've been clean for 5 years. Therapy, NA meetings, the whole thing. I'm different now. I work at a warehouse, live in a studio apartment, pay my bills. I'm not asking for money or a job. I just want you to know I finally understand what I destroyed. I stole from you, blamed you, ruined our family, and you still tried to help Dad at the end," wrote that honest parole letter. "You didn't owe me that, but you did it anyway because you're a better man than I'll ever be. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just saying I'm sorry, and I hope you're happy. You deserve it. Colin." I read it 3 times. Felt something shift, just slightly. Not forgiveness, exactly. More like closure. I wrote back. 1 paragraph. "Colin, I'm glad you're doing better. I mean that sincerely, but I don't want a relationship. That door closed years ago. I hope you build a good life. Just build it without me. Alex." I sent it. Felt lighter afterward. September brought another milestone. Total revenue since I took over crossed $500 million cumulative. Tom calculated that we'd created over $60 million in wages and benefits during that time. "You've literally changed hundreds of lives," he said. "That's the real metric. Any word on that PE firm that wanted to buy us? They bought your main competitor instead, already laid off 30% of staff to cut costs. And this is why we don't sell." In November, a reporter from a national business magazine called, "We're doing a feature on the future of American manufacturing. Your name keeps coming up. Can we talk?" The article ran in January. The Anti-Corporate CEO, How Alex Brennan Built a $115 million company by Ignoring Conventional Wisdom. They got it right. Talked about the culture, the profit sharing, the apprentice program. Mentioned my family background but didn't sensationalize it. The quote they featured, "My grandfather taught me that business is about people. My family taught me what happens when you forget that. I'm building something that remembers." The article went viral. LinkedIn blew up. Speaking invitations flooded in. I did a TED Talk in March. Building Legacy. Why Family Business Doesn't Mean Blood. 18 minutes on what I'd learned, what I'd built, what mattered. The key line. Sometimes the family you build is more important than the family you're born into. Sometimes walking away is the bravest thing you can do. And sometimes the best revenge is building something so good that it speaks for itself. It got 4 million views in the first month. We hired 20 more people that spring. Revenue hit $122 million. Kira, now 38, came to me with a request. "I want to go back to school, get my degree, but I don't want to leave the company. We'll pay for it. And adjust your schedule so you can attend classes." "Seriously? You've been here 7 years. You've earned it. We invest in our people," she cried. "Again, this place changed my life. You changed your life. We just gave you the opportunity." By July, we had 12 employees in degree programs. Tuition reimbursement cost us $140,000 a year. Tom questioned it. "That's a lot of money with no guaranteed return." The return is loyalty, skill development, people who stay because we invest in them. What if they leave after we pay for their degree? Then we helped someone build a better life. I'm okay with that. None of them left. Most stayed and got promoted. In September, I got an email from an address I didn't recognize. Subject: "You don't know me. Mr. Brennan. My name is Rachel Brennan. I'm Colin's daughter. I'm 19, starting college, and I just found out about everything that happened with our family. My dad doesn't talk about it. But I found the court records. the news articles. I wanted you to know that I don't blame you for cutting him off. I understand. I also wanted to say thank you for the parole letter. It was honest but fair. That's more than he deserved. I don't want anything from you. Just wanted you to know that not everyone in the family thinks you were wrong. Rachel. I sat with that email for a day before responding. Rachel, thank you for reaching out. Your situation isn't your fault. You didn't choose your father's actions. If you ever need advice about business, manufacturing, or just life, my door is open. Not because of family obligation, but because you sound like someone worth knowing. Alex. Alex. We exchanged a few more emails. She was smart, studying engineering, wanted to work in manufacturing someday. Not our company, I clarified. Too complicated, but I'll help you find something good. Fair enough. Just wanted you to know I exist and I'm not like him. I believe you. October brought our biggest contract yet. $15 million over 3 years with an aerospace supplier. To fulfill it, we'd need to expand again, add a third shift, maybe 30 more employees. The leadership team met to discuss capacity. We can do this, Julian said, but we'll be stretched thin. Then, we hire carefully, train thoroughly, do it right, even if it takes longer. We spent 3 months recruiting, added 28 people, took extra time on training. The contract started in January. Rough first month, but by February we'd hit our stride. Revenue for the year, $134 million. Net profit, $16.8 million. At the holiday party, I announced a new initiative. We're starting an employee stock ownership program. Over time, you'll own a piece of this company. It'll take years to fully implement, but eventually, this place will be truly ours. Not mine, ours. The reaction was stunned, silence, then applause. Tom pulled me aside. You're giving away ownership? I'm sharing success. There's a difference. Julian already has 5%. If you give employees another 20%, you're down to 75%. And the company's worth more because people are invested, literally and figuratively. We started the ESOP in March. Complicated legal structure, but worth it. By my 42nd birthday, we employed 178 people across 2 facilities. Revenue tracking toward $145 million.